Welcome, brother. Hey, this is Rick Kaufman. I am the author of The Ascension of the Warrior and the team lead here within the 318 Brotherhood. So, first of all, what I want to do is welcome you here to the 318 Brotherhood. Now, you may be new, just starting this journey with us, or you may be have been here for a while. As we approach this new year, the Brotherhood's taking on a new look and a kind of a new direction. But first of all, I want to talk to you a little bit about the 318 method and how we begin to walk this out together. So whether or not you've been here or part of the 318 Brotherhood for a long time, or since we got started, or you're just now stepping into this space, I want you to understand that this video really matters to you. Okay, to re-engage you, but also to help you understand, if you haven't shown up for the calls, to understand exactly what we are all about. Okay, because if you understand what's in this video, you'll understand everything else that we do. This is the foundation. This is what the 318 is. Okay, this is a brotherhood that comes from Genesis 14, specifically Genesis 14:14. This is where Abram didn't wait for permission. He didn't gather a crowd. He gathered 318 trained men from his house, and he went after what had been taken. This is the picture. This is the picture that I am making for you. This is what the Brotherhood is all about. The Brotherhood exists to raise trained men. Does that mean that you need to be trained and follow and be the perfect example of what God is calling? No, not by no means at all. We are all broken, unrecognizable to ourselves and unrecognizable to many of the people and family members because we don't look like the man that we once did. But we are men who walk in obedience, not the noise of the world. We live in a, should I just say, a really crappy world right now. It kind of sucks out there. A lot of hate, but God has called you here. So let's get to the backbone of the 318. So what I refer to as the 318 method. Now, if you've purchased my book, the Ascension of the Warrior, or you've ordered the digital download, or you are part of the Brotherhood and you have the book, but maybe you've misplaced it, that's okay. We're going to talk about the 318 method. So what I want to do right now, I'm going to share my screen with you to explain exactly what the 318 method is. Okay, so you can get a very visual picture of this method. So what you're looking at here is a diagram of the 318 method. It first starts with the three fires. Okay, the three fires. The first fire is the fire of pain. The second fire is the fire of purpose. And the third fire is the fire of power. All right, we'll go a little more depth in here in just a bit. But we focus on these three fires when we talk about the three domains. That is our health, relationships, and our wealth. So this is our body, our physical health, mental health, anything to do with health. Also relationships. This is our relationships. And also our financial situation, our wealth, our business, what God has called us to build. And you see a man in a triangle. The triangle represents the three fires and also represents the three domains. Part of this is to reframe your story, to change the story and reframe where you lie within this triangle as far as your fire of pain, because you want to move through these three fires. So the 3 in the 318 stands for the three fires. The 1 stands for the one man. The one man represented in the triangle that is going to walk the ascension of the path, which is the 8 steps. The 8 steps of the ascension of the warrior. And we'll get into this more in detail later, but I just wanted to begin to break this down for you so you can begin to see just what the 318 method is made up of and how we navigate this. All right, this is all about how we approach our Bible study, how we approach every situation in our life. So I just wanted to make sure that we were clear on this. You'll be learning more about this, not only in the book, but also in many of the other teachings I'm going to show you here in just a little bit. So just to recap this, what you just saw, the 318 method has 3 parts to it. First part is the 3 fires, the one man, and the 8 steps. But this method applies to every part of your life, your health, your relationships, and your work and your provision, your business. Not 3 separate lives. These are one aligned life. These 3 all go together. You can't have one without the other. The reason why I say that is because God shared with me, he said, because I was approaching God from a financial, wanting him to take care of my finances. He immediately turned me into with the body because I was a broken man with poor health, diabetes. I have factor five, blood leiden. So I've had DVTs and blood clots. I have stents in my heart. He said, what does all this other stuff matter if you don't take care of your body and your health? Because you're going to be dead before you ever build anything or repair relationships. So the three fires, every man standing in one of these fires. We always approach it with the fire of pain. Fire of pain is the breaking. Something hurts. Something is being exposed in you right now. This is not punishment. It's clear to understand that God, ever all this pain, when I lost my daughter in 1993, wasn't punishment for something I had done. I had believed that for so long. What did I do so bad to receive what God was giving me? It's not punishment. Pain is the initiation. This is the reframing that I was talking about. Then we move to purpose. This is God is teaching you. God is using the purpose to be able to shape you. I'm a woodworker by trade. I've worked with my hands in several different businesses, but sanding, reshaping, molding something. That is exactly what God is doing with us. That's why I refer to him as the master craftsman. The purpose is he's aligning you for something. If you are here, he's aligning you for something. You've been through some pain. You've built a life. You built a career. You built a relationship and a marriage, and you raised your children, or you still are raising children, but you feel something's off. This is the pain. This is the struggle. If you don't approach it from that standpoint, the pain could break you, could destroy you. So the purpose is God is beginning to teach you, shape you, and he's aligning you for something much greater. This is where the discipline begins to be built into your life. And then you arrive at the third fire, which is the fire of power. This is where fruit begins to show up. The action steps. We're going to talk a lot about action steps. God gives us action steps to take. We try to figure things out on our own. God always lays a map. He lays a plan, his wisdom, his way. We ignore, we don't listen. But this is where, through the purpose, we start producing fruit. Clarity in your life begins to increase. Leadership begins to emerge, maybe in your business, your calling, in your ministry. You don't skip these fires. You walk through them. I refer to this as the process. The fire of pain is the process. I hate it. It hurts. Basically, just be truthful with you. It sucks. You don't want to go through the process. You just want to arrive at the fruit. Skip all that other stuff. Right? I know I can relate because when I lost my daughter, I thought I would never be able to get to where I am today. It took me almost 30 years, brother. 2 bankruptcies, a divorce, attempted suicide. It's all the process, every single bit of it. This now brings us to the one man. Before there were 318 men, there was just one man. It was Abram. Are you the Abram? God's calling to this. I'm not Abram. Are you the man being called? Everything starts with one man taking responsibility for everything in his life. 318 Brotherhood doesn't fix your life. It's not what we're here for. It begins to train you, to raise you up as the man God has called you to be. When a man begins to align with what God is saying to him, step one is, what's God saying to you? Everything else begins to follow, falls in place. There's a saying, when the tide rises, all boats float. So when God rises up in you and you understand what he's saying, you rise. Everything around you begins to rise. And then you start the 8 steps of the Ascension. The 8 steps is not some theory I wrote down. They are in order, miraculously, not by any plan of mine, but by the 2.5 years I spent journaling this. God works in sequences. This is the small, still voice. These are the small steps we have to take each day to get to the destination we want to be, regardless of what you're building. Step 1, what is God saying to me? Step 2, don't neglect people. Step 3, heal through hindsight. Step 4, trust the process. Step 5, God's provision. Step 6, deny yourself and pick up the cross. Step 7, follow the master's blueprint. And step 8, embrace the call. You don't rush any of these, brother. Matter of fact, step 1, what's God saying to you? You will keep coming back to that every single day and every single situation. You will master this. And when you master this, what God is saying to you, you will begin hearing him and you will become a disciple, and your relationship with God will be on fire, the fire of power. We walk them out. We navigate this process. So how does the brotherhood work? Now let me show you how we live this out together. Everything in the brotherhood is related. It lives right here inside our private group. This is your home. If you haven't set up your account, you should have a link here. I want you to go set up your password, user ID, set that up so you can log in to the brotherhood. But before you do, you can watch this video if you haven't done so. But if you're watching this video, you're probably in the brotherhood because that's where this video lives. Make sense? So inside this brotherhood, I'm going to show you the calendar for all the calls, all the events, and the events to come. The daily call replays and where you can join in on the call. The learning section, this is where the education pieces and all the things are going to live. The community, just like any Facebook community. You don't need to hunt for links and you don't need to search for anything, because if it's Brotherhood or the Ascension of the Warrior, or anything to do with the book, it is related. It is right here inside the Brotherhood. So what I want to do now is I want to share my screen and I want to take you into the Brotherhood site so we can begin to break this down so you can see it. So when you first log in, this is what you're going to see. This is the discussion board. This is where everything lives here. So first off, this is up here is the live Brotherhood call. This Brotherhood call takes place every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. for those of you that can't attend during the day. But they're also right here, the recordings. You'll see this was our call on New Year's Day, the first call of New Year's. It's right here. It's also, here's the call before, and so on and so forth. This is our daily work assignment, which I'm going to share with you as starting off this. I don't care if it's the first day of the year or it's June or July and it's your first day here. This is your first assignment that I'm going to be giving to you shortly, but it's housed right here. Okay. So you'll come up here. You'll see these tabs. We have our discussion board. This is where all the discussion takes place. This is our learning, our events, our leaderboard. This is all the members, our about section. You can invite people if you want. Just click here. They'll get a link. They'll go through the same process that you follow. But as of the first of the year, this is a paid membership. Okay. So going forward, if you come in after the first of the year, just understand that it's a paid membership. You do get 30-day test drive with that paid membership to check things out, to see if this is a place that you want to call home. And I trust that you will feel that way at the end of the day. At the end of the 30 days, you'll stay. But if you don't feel God is pointing you in this direction, brother, I honor that. And we pray for you and wish you well. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So let's go to our events tab. So if I click on the Brotherhood call, it takes me to the events tab. Okay. The other way is I can click on the events tab and it takes me right to the events tab. These are the daily calls: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's the same link, exact same link. So if you save this link, put it into your calendar, it'll always be there. So you can copy right here. You can copy the link. All right. Or you can register for it. You can register the call and you'll also be notified, additional notifications, but you also click right here and it will open up the Zoom link. We do these live calls on Zoom, but they are also inside the Brotherhood. Okay. So if you're a person who doesn't have Zoom installed on your phone or on your computer, or you find Zoom is kind of a difficult thing to kind of maneuver and you don't quite understand it, if you can log into the group here, then brother, you have everything you need, because right here is the call. So as you can see, the call's right here. It takes place. There's a chat in here also. And so you can see the chats. I share the chats from the calls, the live call, into here. So you can see what's, is being shared in the chat. So it is all right here in the Brotherhood. Every single call is right here. So you can come in here and follow right along with us any given day. any given week. And you won't miss a beat. So this is where it all is. You know, we typically have 7 to 8 guys per call, sometimes more, and any given day. But throughout the week, there's 2 or 3 guys that are pretty basic every time. But throughout the week, we have dozens of guys show up, on any particular day. So this is where this takes place. So the learning section. There's new learning being added. Okay. First off, if you ordered the book, you already got this information here. Okay. This section here covers how to get the most out of the book. This walks you through the 8 steps. So when you come in here, you're going to see this tab and you will click here. So this is the guided path. That should look familiar to you. This outlines each and every step in the book. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then answering the call and beyond where you go. Okay. So this kind of breaks it down so you can follow along and get the most out of the book. Then we go back here. We also, once the page comes up, we also have the audiobook. You can come in here and listen to the audiobook. Also, there will be added, it's not in here yet, but it will be coming here by the time you have this video in hand. It'll be in here. This is my flagship program. It is a 12-week study program, 12 weeks, 90 days worth of study, where you have daily lessons. They walk through the first 3 steps of the book. These first 3 steps are crucial. Step 1, 2, and 3. And we walk through and you spend 4 weeks in each step. You will see that program in here too. That was my flagship program. It is now housed inside here as a bonus. It's almost $3,000 value that I am giving to you. So I encourage you to get into that. Trust me, I believe it will change your life. You also will have a leaderboard. Those that participate, you'll see different brothers in here that participate and all that. You also have members. So you'll be able to find any member and communicate with any member here that you want. When you find a member or you want to search a member, you can come in here. You can communicate directly with them. So, for example, we can communicate with anybody here that we want. So we can put it right in here. And just like on a Facebook, you can send a direct message. So when you see brothers online on the calls and you want to connect with them outside of the call, this is a way you can do this without sharing any personal information, but it's all housed right here. This is a very powerful group, very powerful community. So I highly recommend that you jump in here and get busy. So I want to explain the daily calls. This is the heartbeat. The daily calls are the heartbeat of the Brotherhood. This is where we meet every single day, Monday through Friday. So again, the times. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. So if you're on the West Coast, it's going to be 7 a.m. Now, Tuesdays and Thursdays is at 7:30 p.m. You'll get daily reminders. It's typically an email, and then you should get at least one text message about an hour. And also, you should also get one. At least you'll get one. Always will get a text message that goes out about 10 minutes before the time that we go live, reminding you that we're live. But you should get a couple emails throughout the day letting you know the reminders. So I want you to understand, you don't need to speak up to be there. Okay. Plus, you're not there to perform and show people how intelligent you are and how smart that you are and how much Bible that you know and the Bible verses you have memorized. It's not what this is about. We just want to show up first. We want to listen. We want to receive. We want to receive what God is saying to you. Now, if you feel moved to speak, brother, I encourage you, speak up, because God has prompted you to speak up. You never know what you have to say may be meant for one of the brothers on the call that day. So if you miss it live, Remember, you can go back into the Brotherhood and you can watch any one of these so you can pick up. Not only that, but if we get into these little conversations about things that don't really pertain about stuff like football or, maybe not what God's doing in our lives, we just kind of share. Sometimes we have those days because the Holy Spirit moves us in a direction. And sometimes we just are a bunch of guys getting together to talk about what's on our mind. And you can fast forward through those and pick up some of the sequences of what something that you're really wanting to listen to. And one call can realign your whole entire day, can change your outlook on the day. So, and then the learning section, kind of want to go over that again. The learning section is not content. It's not what it's about. It's a training ground. It's a training ground for you to come and return to every time where something is needed in your life. So the teachings that will take place can be live, but also the replays, and this is where those replays of the trainings are stored. Obviously, assignments are explained, and future trainings will be added. We're going to have challenges coming up. We got our first challenge coming up in March of this year. Every 90 days, there's going to be a challenge. It's going to take place in the Brotherhood. And if you're a part of the Brotherhood, these challenges are totally free for you, okay? If you're not part of the Brotherhood, well, I guess it wouldn't pertain to you, right? But if you drop out of the Brotherhood and you want to participate in one of the challenges, it will cost you, okay? So I want you to understand that. So this is where you are right now. This is how it applies to what we're speaking about. So how do we walk out our daily assignments? And I'm going to start with this one assignment. This one assignment that I feel that every man should probably start with, because this is the foundation. This really begins to build things on top of one another. So we live by one rule here, okay? Outcomes belong to God. Let me say that again. Outcomes belong to God. We don't create our own outcomes. No matter how much you might think or the world tells you, hustle harder, work harder. I want you to understand assignments. Assignments belong to the men. God gives you an assignment. Your job is to do the assignment today. Now, if you want to call that hard work, striving, grinding, hustling, call it what you want. But if that's what you're doing, you're going to burn out. That's why most men are here, because they've realized where they are today is not where they really want to be, but they've been grinding all their life, either in their health or their wealth and their relationships. This is how Jesus lived his life. He listened to his Father, and he did what his Father said. He took his assignment, and this is how we live. So your daily work here, this is what I want you to start with. This is step one. Each day is the exact same way, okay? So when you go into your Bible study, you go into anything that you do, I want you to start this way. So your daily work, I want you to get still, get quiet. Find a quiet place. If you need music, put some earbuds in or headphones or something. Listen to some music that relaxes you, but it calms your body. It takes your mind off the world. Sit in that silence place. I listen to music, and trust me, it gets very calm. It gets very silent in my head. That's what I'm referring to. Not the noise of the world, not the dogs barking, the kids playing, the street cars going by, not all the noise, stillness and silence. And I want you to ask out loud, Father, what are you saying to me today? Always start that way. And then anytime you need to stop and pause throughout the day, ask, Father, what are you saying to me today about this situation? You need to master this, because God will speak to you in every situation. You receive it, okay? I don't want you to edit. Don't edit, add to, take away. This could be a real simple nudge. It might be even a name of a person. It could be a task that he's asking you to do. Pick up the phone and call somebody. Or maybe sit down and write something that you're grateful for. It might be a call to wait or a call to rest. Just take it easy for an hour. I do not want you to filter this, not one bit. And then I want you to name that assignment. And I want you to write this out. Today, my assignment is blank. What is it you're going to do? It must be something you can act on today. If it's something you say, well, God's asking me to do this by Friday or Friday of next week or whenever, that is not an assignment. That is a vision. That's something you're seeing down the road that you want to get. That's an outcome that you want to have. It's okay to have an outcome. It's okay to have the vision, But the action step that I do today is just one small piece that moves me closer to that vision. It begins to collapse time, but it's my assignment that collapses time. It's not my outcome on the assignment, because remember this: transformation takes place on the inside. So you feel led to read Proverbs, the book of Proverbs. There's 31 chapters, and let's just say there's 31 days in the month, and you feel led to read the book of Proverbs. You don't sit here and try to read the book of Proverbs all today. You just read chapter 1, okay? Because it's something that you can do today. Then you obey what God's telling you to do, your assignment. Then you say, I will obey, and God handles the outcome that he wants for your life. It may not look like what you want, but trust me, it will be at the end of the day. You'll be amazed at what can happen over a period of time. Then we've got a return and report. This is optional, but let me just say that it's extremely powerful to jump into the return report and get open, because I believe that you speak truth of what God's saying to you. You invite God into that situation. And God is the author of your transformation. Like I said, you are transformed on the inside first before you see the transformation on the outside. So it's appropriate to post if it is, okay? And I'm going to leave that up to you. But I want you to post your assignment, not the result, because the result you may not see yet. I just want you to post simply and say, here's my assignment. Today, my assignment is blank. And I want you to put done. That's it. Done. No explaining, no outcome, no chasing. And brother, I'm going to start holding brothers accountable. I'm going to start reaching out to you. Say, where's your post today? I'm going to post mine. I'm going to post my assignments, because I'm going to lead. I'm going to be out front. Okay. This begins to build integrity. So what will you get if you stay engaged in the 318 men, brotherhood? Men who stay engaged in experiences, okay? Clarity instead of chaos, obedience instead of anxiety, consistency instead of drifting, and brotherhood instead of isolation. This is how men are rebuilt. So my final word to you is this, brother. This is not complicated. Not at all. I want you to check the calendar. Put those links and calendar dates into your calendar. Write it on your calendar. Put it on your calendar in the kitchen. Put it on your phone. Put it wherever you get your messages or your reminders. I want you to join the call, preferably every day, but I want you to join the call when you can. But I want you to go back and watch the calls when you miss them. I want you to use the learning section, because this helps you develop a better understanding of the 318 method, the 3 fires, the 1 man, the 8 steps, because this can begin to outline your process in your life. Many men try to live according to the Bible and the word, and because they don't understand a lot of it, they don't really understand how to live it out in today's world. This, I believe, is a simplistic way, but it all lines up exactly with what God says. Use the learning section and walk out these assignments as I laid out to you. That's it. Understand it. There's nothing more. No man is left behind. The outcomes, there's no outcomes that we are chasing. There's no pretending. We don't pretend. If we're hurting, we show up broken and hurt. We lay it on the table, because God can't fix what we don't want to own in our life. And then we have to give it to him. We rise, brother. Each one of us rise. But at the end of the day, you're going to learn how to deal with your fire of pain, so you can deal with another brother's fire of pain and not step into the pain, that fire, and get burned. This is when we know we're in purpose and in power. The work starts now. You may have been part of the group, and you may be showing up for calls consistently for several months now, but you haven't been doing this work. I know you haven't, but we're going to adopt the 318 method. You're going to be part of this brotherhood. You're going to adopt it. You're going to begin to play it out on a day-to-day basis. And then we'll let God refine you. Let God lead you to the path that he wants you down. And then when that happens, he may call you elsewhere. So you will leave the brotherhood, and you may come back from time to time. But brother, this is a place you can call home. I want to welcome you here. I love you. God loves you. 318, brother. We'll see you on the call. I'm there every day. Have a blessed day.